So maybe the title is like a bit aggressive, but it's true, all right? There are car modifications that you can do to your car that will help it like the equivalent of immediately, all right? Things that a lot of times we say, I'll just do it next season. I don't know why we like pushing the can or kicking the can down the road, but we as car people are really freaking good, all right? We got car shows to go to. We got drag races to lose. We have autocross events to break things at, all right? And you shouldn't put them off anymore. You need to do this stuff before you realize that life only moves faster and not slower. That's why our project cars are sitting in our garage. I'm Alex, Alex.fi on Instagram, and today we're gonna be talking about different types of car mods that improve your car right out of the gate. And if you're just jumping into one of our videos, I usually clap. I'm running out of different patterns to do, so I'm sorry. If you're just tuning into a Fitment Industries video, hello and welcome. Don't forget to subscribe so we can keep making videos like this. And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to check us out over at fitmentindustries.com, where we literally have everything you could possibly imagine. Plus, we have a giveaway going on, a full build giveaway that features our very own in-house brand, our new wheel company that is ours that we've built over the past year or so, Artisa Art-Formed Wheels. Be sure to take a look at those, and if you like them, maybe pick up a set. It'd mean a lot to me and to our team. Anyway, let's hop into some things that actually help your car, that improve your car. And no, I refuse to talk about harnesses in a street car that take like 25 minutes to put on. We're not talking about harnesses, it's street cars. Starting off with the first and most basic mod that's gonna help your car immediately out of the gate, no questions asked, and probably one of the things that you know I was gonna talk about are properly good tires. And I'm telling you, there's nothing better than a good set of tires if you wanna instantly give a good boost to your car. And it doesn't matter what car it is, but when you throw like Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s or 4Ss on there, you're gonna be blown away by how good they are. And it's just like the best thing ever. Now, it doesn't just need to be a summer tire. If you're jumping into winter, get some actual winter tires and you'll find ditches don't need to meet your bumper. And there is a substantial difference between all seasons and winter tires when you actually drive them. Summer setup for autocross, you'll find that some sticky boys that grab more asphalt than your lint roller collects hair actually help you a ton around the track, and you don't have to worry about a lot of the oversteer and understeer. There's something about those properly good setup tires because they just connect you to the ground, and you'll honestly see a night and day difference that a lot of times, even though tires can be more expensive, they are 100% worth it, and dollar for dollar, probably one of the best mods you can get. There's nothing worse than 80% used tires on a Corvette that you just bought, and you quickly learn that the gas pedal is also just a ticket to a sidewall. Get good tires right off the bat if that's the only mod that you can do. If you have no plans for anything else, look at those tires and make sure they're the right ones. Another great one is a proper tune from a reputable company with the supporting mods that you end up putting on the car. New cars specifically need this the most, and a lot of times you can get this with diesels too. It can include things like an EGR or a DPF delete. Essentially, things like an EGR or an exhaust gas recirculation delete kit is a kit that removes your EGR valves and prevents exhaust from being redirected back into the engine and allows the vehicle to function as if it never had it. And a lot of times this is gonna result in, well, it's gonna be lighter because it's not 70,000 pounds. You can do more mile per gallon gains because it's not recirculating. You get more horsepower out of it. You can lower the overall temperature of your engine. And while it's technically not legal in the United States, neither is most of our exhausts or the window tint that you have on your car. So, I mean, really, we're just gonna talk about it to talk about it. But properly good tunes also help a lot. Now, the thing is that if you end up doing an EGR or DPF modification, is to follow it up with that appropriate tune that takes that into consideration. And if you don't have a diesel, you just got a gasser, and you're throwing an intake exhaust and this and that and the other thing, those tunes need to be updated in real time with those modifications. Now, a lot of times as you make these changes and you go in for the tune, you'll see an immediate performance increase, and it is something that needs to happen. Newer cars, if they don't get retuned as these changes happen to the intake exhaust and all that sort of stuff, it can actually throw the tune for a loop and ultimately end up in limp mode and some other things. The tip for like 10 people, because most people run gassers, don't feel like that's really important. But since we're on to modifications that can make your car a little bit of a cop magnet, let's talk about another easy one for those that don't have, state laws against it. California, it's got to be unfortunate in California. And Wisconsin, they just don't care. All right. Now, the modification here would be the good old test pipe. Now, a test pipe is just simply a delete for the catalytic converter on your car. And the cat is just a big hunk of metal that burns excess gases before it exits the vehicle and helps the emissions and O2. However, they also restrict the flow, they're heavy, and they don't really give your car the exhaust note it so desperately deserves because it's too busy choking on itself and not in the fun way. Lots of times, people only have a little change to spare on an exhaust and they end up buying some no-name eBay exhaust because they want to get the whole exhaust done in one single shot. Now, a lot of times I would disagree with that. And what you can do is you can start off with some of the simple bits that are the most restrictive on the car. Now, a lot of times your headers, your muffler, and your cats are the most restrictive parts of your car, all right? Now, if you're stretched on funds, don't go for the entry-level exhaust system. Instead, start with just some test pipes. You'll notice a pretty decent improvement. Pair that with some high-flow mufflers, maybe even from an OE performance version of your car so you don't have to worry too much about, actually getting it into your exhaust system, because usually the hangers will be identical, or maybe you just get some Flowmasters or something like that. You probably saved yourself $1,000 and now you have most of your exhaust gases flowing freely. Now, a lot of times you can jump into headers to really open it up all the way, but for a test pipe that's gonna cost you $100, it's pretty much the best bang for buck you can go for. Another easy one would be filter replacement. Now, this is where normal people would say cold air intake, but that has come a little bit of a hot tamale, a little bit of a hot subject, if you will, because some may say that going into a cold air intake would actually reduce your horsepower numbers because of the heat soak, and a lot of times these cars are running super hot these days. So instead, let's focus on just replacing filters, especially air filters. The filters are an easy check and often extremely restricting, especially from an OEM capacity, because with normal commuter cars, they are more worried about the longevity of the car, and restricting the airflow actually makes the power less, which allows you to keep the car for longer. It doesn't stress the motor out as much. You're gonna notice that a lot of times, anytime you're modifying a car, the reason that you're doing it is to remove a lot of the restrictions that the car may have. Filters, intakes, and anything that allows your car to breathe better will do nothing but help. And it's honestly a night and day difference the moment that you do it. It's not like you have to build it up, and a lot of times you see and feel a difference right away. Pair that with a proper tune and you actually will see that change. Now, if you have an older car and you don't need a tune, hell yeah, brother. Tighten down that drive-by wire line and send her, all right? And I know it seems obvious, but some modifications don't really help your car much. They're cool, but they don't help a ton. It's just what it is. That's okay, but we just gotta have to admit it. Ground wires, big wings, spark plugs on a brand new SCI. Removing the 5 pounds of junk in the trunk won't necessarily change the game, unfortunately, and I'm sorry. It's more of the bigger things that are gonna help the car do what it was essentially made to do, which is drive. And if you can make it do that better, you're gonna feel the impacts immediately. Another great modification, though, to help with your car would be anything can help with weight reduction or things like that can help your car. Honestly, it's just less pounds that you have to move with the power that you've got. So if you can remove that, it's actually gonna help. Anything that removes weight or connects you to the ground will always help you in the experience that you have with your car, all right? And a great place to start that can do that would be lightweight wheels. Specifically, wheels that feature a forged-like barrel and cast face. Now, the reason that I say that is because the cast face and the forged barrel allow things to keep costs down so you don't have to pay $6,000 for monoblock forged wheels. This keeps the cost accountable and the weight low. Now, reducing rotational mass in your car helps with brake control, turning, and the overall performance of your car. And you have to remember that this is really important. Things like Artisa Art-Formed wheels, which is ours truly, were specifically made to be lightweight directional and still meet the needs of a car show guy or gal and the function guy or gal that wants a better performing car. Now, if for some reason you're just out to get us and you don't want the Artisa Art-Formed wheels, which is fine, I'm just gonna cry, lightweight wheels are gonna help you a lot, especially when you notice that the weight is low and you're keeping all the weight that you can get on this cast wheel at the center of the wheel that reduces the rotational mass of the wheel. And finally, our last modification that truly helps your cars would be strut bars and bushings at the same time. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's a huge thing that's often overmissed. Now remember, anything that helps your car connect to the road is absolutely needed. Stop ignoring that bushing that looks like it looks a little rough, a little dry. It looks like a potato in the back of the oven that you've sat in there for about 4 months, or it looks like it's from Chernobyl. Get it fixed. Also, strut bars that help mitigate flex and absorb body roll within the car will make a noticeable difference in hard driving conditions, all right? The new bushings will also help with the oscillation within the car suspension geometry. all right? When it's under pressure, like a harsh turn or a hard stop. When you're driving the car, and I mean truly driving the car, going from side to side, harsh turns, harsh braking, things like that. The things that we mentioned above are gonna be the things when you notice and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm driving a whole new car. I mean, simply, it'll make our shit boxes just feel a lot less shit. It might still rattle a bit and make noises, and the stereo might be terrible, but it just won't be as bad as before. But what do you think is the #1 modification that helps your car? Let us know below, and if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, and suspension, be sure to hit us up over at fitmentindustries.com, and please let us know what you'd like us to talk about next, or not. I just like reading the comments. I'm here all day. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries, and we will see you later. Peace. I almost fell.